Are you bored out of your mind and not quite sure what to do with all of this free time? The way we choose to spend our free hours quite literally determines our life and our future circumstances. Especially now with all this corona craziness going on, there's no better time than ever to rethink and to get a different paradigm shift over our routine and how we spend our time. We don't have much control over what is going on in the world around us, but we do have the most control over how we spend our time and energy. The better that we choose to spend our time and energy, the better that our life is going to be and the better we're going to feel mentally, physically, and emotionally. Oh, and if you stick around till the end of this video, I'm going to give you some links of some awesome resources of where to actually invest your time and energy to learn the most and feel the best. So the first and maybe the best way to spend our free time is sharpening our saw. Bettering ourselves mentally, physically, and emotionally is probably one of the best ways to be spending our free time, because it's not only going to make us feel better, it's going to help us accomplish more and being able to contribute more to the people that we care about most, which is really the key to a happy and fulfilled life. There's so many different ways to strengthen ourselves mentally, physically, and emotionally. Starting with physically, we can exercise ourselves. Maybe if the gyms are closed, we can still do some sort of home workouts, go for a walk, go for a jog in a park, or maybe even some yoga. My favorite is Yoga with Adriene. It's actually on YouTube. All you gotta do is type her name in on the search bar and you will find absolutely tons of instructional videos to take you through all sorts of different routines that help you with your movement and their exercise and just make you feel really good. As far as a way to strengthen yourself mentally, the best way to do it is to read or practice on learning something new. Reading is one of the best things that we can do because we could download some of the smartest people's life work into our brain in just a couple of weeks. And just learning something new builds all these new and great connections in our brains that are gonna keep us feeling really good. And the more that we know, the better that we can navigate our way through life and make our best decisions. The best way that I've personally found to strengthen ourselves emotionally is just sitting with yourself and meditating. Put your phone away, put off all the distractions, and just sit with yourself and connect with your breath. The more that you're able to connect with your breath, the more that you can connect with yourself, and that is just starting that process of self-understanding and self-mastery. The more that we can understand and master ourselves, the better that we're going to feel, the more we can contribute, and the happier and healthier we're going to be. So the second best way to spend our free time that I've found is just writing in your journal or sketchbook. If you don't have one, I definitely highly recommend to get one, because writing tends to be the purest form of thinking, because we have to finish our thoughts to complete the sentences. And just sit with yourself with no distractions, with just a pen and a piece of paper, and write down what's truly important to you. Where do you want to be at the end of this life? And picture yourself at your funeral. What do you want the people to say at your funeral about you? And what do you have wanted to accomplish by then? Or what do you want to accomplish, say, if everything went as perfect as possible in 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, 5 years, 3 years? What about the end of this year? Or what about just the end of this quarantine, or in the next 6 months? If everything went perfect, what would it look like? And then write that down. Put all of those thoughts of what's truly important and what you want things to happen in this world, and write that down. And then after that, write down the steps and the habits that it's gonna take to actually make that happen. And if you can't think of anything, if you have no idea what to write down, just start by writing down your strengths. Sit with yourself. If it takes time, it takes time. But that's what we're doing here, is just figuring out how to spend our free time most effectively. And start by writing out your strengths, or just write out things that you're grateful for. And if this is a struggle, I would really spend extra time just waiting, because the longer you sit, the more things will come up. And then once you sit for 30 minutes to an hour just with a pen and a piece of paper, you'll get past the first layer of all the things that you regularly think about already. And then you'll get to the real important, valuable, nitty-gritty stuff. So this brings me to my third point, or the third best way to spend your free time, is just to start taking some serious action towards your goals and towards the things that is really important to you. If that's your family, a certain project, yourself, or a goal, just start taking actions towards the things that you want to accomplish in this life. Now that you've already sharpened your saw and you've got a clear idea from writing down the things that you truly want to happen, now just take good forward steps towards that. And the more that we can take real action towards the things that are important to us, the better we're going to feel. And when we do this on a consistent basis, even past this quarantine and past all this, that's the difference in 5 years, really living our absolute best life, our extraordinary life, or just living the basic, kind of mundane, ordinary, that where we're not really going to feel our best or feel fulfilled in any way. So take serious action on your extra hours to live that extraordinary life. All right, if you're still wanting more and you're not quite sure what to spend your time on or how to sharpen your saw, I highly recommend checking out some links I have in the description below, or just go to my website at www.thewillgrant.com. I have so much free content on there of how we can use our time evolving ourselves mentally, physically, and emotionally. And on top of that, I just launched my first course, Happy, Healthy, Strong, in 6 weeks, that literally helps you develop these habits, routines into our life that has us feeling our absolute best every day. That's what's going to get us stepping into our full potential on a daily basis. And the more we can step into our full potential, the better we're going to feel, the more we're going to be able to contribute, and the more we're going to be able to accomplish for ourselves and the ones that we care about the most. So thank you so much for checking in, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you know anybody who this video could bring any value to, make sure to give it a share and a big ol' thumbs up. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week.